Today, I have some advice for people who are starting out doing their first film. Hopefully, you're in the development stage, so you're not like married to a specific genre or anything like that. If you're going down the self distribution route, the whole film hub thing, which there's a lot of people now that's just what they do, which is they do whatever genre they want because they know they can release it on film hub, which is great. But if you're the guy who's just starting out, if you're the guy who has no money, if you're the guy who can't seem to get a team together, I think this video is probably for you. So what I would personally do and what I have done is I would look at the found footage genre. There's even now a TV show called Found TV. Is it Found or Found TV? One of those things that deal just with this genre. It's got a fan base. If you really want to get it out there, then yeah, you could do a horror film. Personally, I've never done that. So what I've tried to do is try to do like a crime or a drama film or something like that. Something that has a unique selling point as opposed to what others would have. Now, the reason why I tell you to start with this is because you can have the actors handle the camera work, and you don't. It can be shaky. It can be however you want it to be. You don't need to have a certificate in cinematography in order to do it. It's the same with sound. Sound is not incredibly important because you're trying to get this idea that it's happening in the moment. So that's one easy way to pass the quality control check on FilmHub. And obviously, just pay for them to do the subtitles, and then you're golden. Unless you really want to sit there and just try and do all that stuff, which is a complete hassle. Yeah, so that my advice to new filmmakers is to get an interesting story and then look at it from the lens of the found footage genre because it's a quick win. You're not going to make financial money or anything like that, but the actors who you're using, they're going to get seen. Your name's going to get out there. They'll probably go off places like Tubi, F Awesome, of course, Found TV, and there's all these different channels that are always popping up. So if you want a quick, what I would call a quick win, I would say do found footage. In fact, I think I made two found footage films, which is the Essex Boys tapes and Irish Intentions. It's interesting because I stumbled across the genre in all honesty. So I was doing something called the Essex Boys Forever, and screenplay. It was supposed to be this great cinematic film. I was working with a DOP. We were looking at Darren Aronofsky's film Requiem for a Dream, and we wanted to take that element and mix it with the Essex Boys. But everything I did was self-funded. But I started having seizures again, so I couldn't work. Therefore, I couldn't pay anyone. So we quickly changed it to a found footage film. My DOP hated it. He went and we just went out and recorded it. In fact, and I knew nothing about camera work. Absolutely nothing. I was a writer, director, and producer. I knew zero. And it was, most of the shots were too dark just because I didn't know how to change the exposure on it. It's hilarious. But the film had really strong performances, really strong, and that's pretty much what it's known for. And not only did we put it through FilmHub, it got picked up by a distribution company as well. But we had a deal where we could, where they could have other territories, and we could just have it on film. So yeah, lost and found. Watch them, absorb them, take what you like, take what you don't like. In case you're interested, the other film was Murderous Intentions. Will they get mixed reviews? Yeah, so will. But you will learn something while you're on that set. You will learn something while you're putting those films together. And you also learn how to get honest reactions out of your actors because it's not like filming a usual film, like where you design the set and then you talk about the script and things like that. Usually, I like to improv everything, so it turns you into a better director and it forces you to have more relationship with your cast members. So it's not about how many people really like your movie when you do this. One, it's an easy win. You reach an audience, and also it really does. It forces you to spend time with your actors. It really does, and to help them build a character because nothing's really written on the page. And I think it does. It makes you a better director, but also it makes you a better communicator in general. Makes you a better leader, and I think people end up respecting that. And then when you do your cinematic film, you carry that over. And there's been a big shift in my cinematic stuff, which hasn't been released yet. Massive shift, I think, especially with the acting, because people are like, why are you hiring bad actors? I think half the time I was probably a bad director. I don't think I had bad actors. And that's the thing with film, with acting, anything creative, you're always completely learning, always learning. And I think that's something that I really love about it. And that's what I loved about chefing. You're always learning. So go out, make your films. Leave me some comments. You suck, dude. Whatever. Take care. Bye.